done with that. Went pretty good. Boat launch and our parking lots in Mendocino's Park are all done. Had a conversation with the person down on the pavement road about the bus turnaround. Once that bus, whatever it is, I think it's a good idea to get it there at the end of the road. We're gonna survey. Up to Cindy over at the bus garage. And she said, should be no problem. She said, doing what I had. Also got a letter from New York State about Stony Wall. Done some trimming. And they're gonna put a, supposedly gonna put a flashing dangerous intersection is coming. The guardrail's still not up yet. Other than that, pretty good shape.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Michelle?
job on the
Oh,
brush pickup.
sorry.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah,
job.
you
on the
Oh,
brush pickup.
thank you, you guys.
yeah, they always do. Sorry.
Michelle?
Tax collections winding down. We're done with all the installations. Most of the full payments are in. Got a couple more weeks of just probably stragglers here and there coming in, but for the most part, we're good.
Good.
The rabies clinic and the recycling event, I thought went well. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
How many
and
people
helping.
got the rabies?
Oh, we don't know for sure yet. They're gonna let us know. So
Okay,
they'll all send us a
It was
little
quite a
link
few.
for now.
It was a very popular
Yeah.
event.
good job.
I'm gonna set the credit card machine up in November. So, well, maybe the end of October, you're coming up soon. So we're gonna start playing with that. I'm sure we're good with that.
Good.
Great.
What's the latest people can make payments to you? Can they make them past October?
October 31st is it in the office.
Gotcha,
They do have until, I think it's November 15th or 18th into the county.
right,
But yeah, as of 31st, it's done with me.
okay, just in case anybody asks you.
Yep.
Do we have a number of people that would be,
Very
might
few,
miss that? Okay,
very few.
Yeah, there's always a few.
okay.
Yeah, but
We don't chase them.
no, when I'm done collecting, everything just goes to the county and they deal with that.
Okay,
But they make the school, they make us whole, and then they worry about that.
We're just lucky for.
Mhm.
A lot of counties don't do it like
Sometimes don't they re-levy the tax levy on state and town and county if I think they can, if I'm not mistaken, they can do it that way, but they can't put the town on the school.
that. That is
Is
correct.
that right? Yeah.
So if you don't pay your school taxes, they'll re-levy it onto your town and county in January.
oh,
Hence the cutoff in November, because she needs time to do all
Sure.
that up there. So then they can pay it then. It's easy. But we don't have many of those.
I'm sure.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to thank Michelle again for all her hard work.
Absolutely.
regarding The event Saturday, especially obviously the rabies was all on her, but she was, obviously all of the get things on the website. Appreciate it. Let's see, where are we? Sheldon's not here, so Brent.
Spoke to some with the building department, the solar farm, they started replacing the trees, planting new trees today. Anticipate completing those on Friday. Verify the location and the size of the tree. Construction wise, it seems like they're getting just about everything complete. The only question is when is National Grid going to put the site into power, start producing power? There is also a program, John, I'll probably catch up with you, building department talked to me about, they have dog waste signs and bags. It's available from the Water Coalition for parks, walk trails, stuff like that. Thought it might be nice to put up in a couple of areas,
Sure.
anywhere that you frequently see dog waste that you have to sidestep. I think, Tom and I think, have officially switched between the ZBA and the planning board instead of just constantly talking every couple of weeks about who's gonna cover. Planning board, there has been no meetings recently. I think since we last met, there should be a couple coming up in November for the Mile Square Road subdivision site plans, a couple of special use permits anticipated down in the hamlet. One for the old pizzeria building, and another one for 3913 Rush Mendon Road for an apartments above the old Chinese block. I've had some conversations with the new owners of that place. It sounds like they want to put in some professional offices. They're working on parking for it, working on some wastewater for it. I think the building looks, as it's looked in a
Yeah,
while.
that's great.
Good to see. Went to Spray Park construction meeting. We're getting, there will be some loose ends on there that they won't have completely done by November 2nd. But mostly it's gonna be just about there, you know, we're gonna have, the placards are on back order. There's a few things, but it sounds like we'll be ready for Memorial Day next year. The Neuro Community Business Association meeting is tomorrow. Plan on attending as long as my construction doesn't get going in, October 27th. Signed up for a webinar for short-term rentals. The Association of Towns.
Thank you.
Was that the Mendon Business Association or the Monroe County?
Mendon Community.
Karen?
Just continuing to attend the fire meetings to learn more about the needs of both the Honeoye Falls Fire Department and the Mendon Fire Department. We're still gathering information. We're not at a point where we can make recommendations or anything at this point. And I think we're going to talk about the preservation thing later, so I won't talk about that right now.
Okay. Cindy?
For the library, they approved their updated code of conduct. Where they had some minor changes. They're looking for more visibility possibilities regarding the library and its services. It's one of their big pushes this year. This past year it has been. Their long-range planning committee gave the library, the trustees, a draft for the trustees to review. And then they will vote on that at the next meeting. And the Veterans Day luncheon food has been ordered.
Very much. Tom?
Okay, had a meeting last week for the Environmental Conservation Board. Not much at the meeting, but I did learn, and I understand he reached out to you as well. Patrick Borelli is going to step down as chair. Well, he's going to step off the committee due to family commitments. So I have reached out to him and got his thoughts on who he thought might be a good replacement, and I'll get about that.
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Zoning, we had the first meeting we've had in a while on Thursday, just a couple variances that were approved. I think the slate, unless something pops up, is going to be pretty empty until the beginning of December. So anyways, also the Mendon Youth Center, I've been stopping in, checking out, still sparsely attended. I'm going to maybe brainstorm with John and just kind of do a little bit of social media and just see what we can do to bump up attendance. So I'd be willing to listen to anyone's got any suggestions for.
Is it in the newsletter at school?
That's one of the things I was gonna
Same.
look into.
Maybe over the announcement.
Yeah, the announcements or whatever. So
Things might.
I know it was advertised at school prior to the opening. Now, whether it's, I don't think it's being done on a regular
Yeah.
basis. Let's put it that way.
I'd like to talk to Denise about, and I mentioned this to you. We had something with the open house dates and the grand opening announcement. I'd like to strip that down and say Mendon Youth Center hours and see if we can get that posted around the middle school.
I'm
So,
wondering if they could put that on their, like their messages when they send out parent square stuff.
oh, So that's not a bad idea. Do you know who I'd reach out to at the middle school for that?
I just talked to one of the secretaries. I think they can point you in the right direction.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, that's it.
Do you think we might be able to reach out to the transportation director and see if there's any chance of any busing opportunities? I mean, I know we kind of, she's new in her position. At
Yeah.
the beginning of the school year, we didn't really want to push that, but I just thought maybe, now that school's been open for a month or so, we might be able to.
Yeah, I will make the first step of just stopping in the office and getting their thoughts on it.
Sure.
So, and again, we would talk about a bus. I mean, I don't think it needs to be just from the middle school over to the youth center
Right.
at the closing school. Yeah, I mean, I know last year, and I don't know if it was because of COVID restrictions, it was kind of cumbersome in that you needed a note from the parents and you weren't on a bus unless, I mean, I don't know what their thoughts are about just showing up with a bus and taking people over there. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know the school's policy.
Yeah, so anyway, so I will run that by Cindy.
Great, thank you. Let's see. I spoke at the seniors meeting on September 13th. Was well attended by the seniors. They've got their 2 events coming up. Around Thanksgiving and around Christmas time for the dinners at Flaherty's. They've been advertising for that. As Karen, I've been attending the numerous fire protection meetings. I would anticipate that there won't be anything to the board until well after first of the year. They may need to even reach out to the board for an extension. I attended the public hearing with the Honeyett Falls Lima School District regarding their exemptions for first responders and veterans. The school board at a subsequent meeting did not vote.
They did not.
They did not vote it. They didn't vote it up or down. It was never brought to a vote.
Oh, it wasn't.
Pardon?
That's interesting.
Yes. The Coon court case, which revolves around the West Bloomfield barn that we've had problems with over the last few years. I attended the, what you call it, Michelle, the arraignment. And then it's on for November 15th, so I'll plan on attending that as well. And attended a council of government meetings downtown regarding shared services, attended a summer rec meeting with the school and other municipalities. Brent and I have been going to the construction meetings regarding the Spray Park and Military Memorial. Brent and I met with Mike Simon from Labella regarding the billing processes. We had some concerns about the promptness of bills. Hopefully we got that straightened out. Went over and talked to highway employees regarding the 2023 budget and met with Katie, the attorney from the Association of Towns, about short-term rentals. That was because we got locked out of that seminar in Canandaigua, but she was nice enough to reach out to me, and I met her for breakfast the day of that seminar in Canandaigua. Spent over an hour with her, so that was very informative. As Tom said, the youth center, things are going along well. Just like to see more participation. Honeyett Falls Fire Department had a clam bake a couple Sundays ago, attended that. We've got a health insurance meeting for all employees this Thursday, October 20th, 11:30 a.m. in the boardroom at Town Hall. If any of the board members want to attend. And October 27th, there's a Zoom about short-term rentals put on by the Association of Towns. I think, Greg, you signed up. I know for the process, figuring out if anybody else wants to sign up. The water fountain at the library has been delivered. I talked to Pat. There is a water fountain there, but they'd like a fountain that you can put, bottle underneath it. So they had an individual donate money to the Friends. The Friends purchased this water fountain, I call it. I talked to Pat. He's getting a little cold feet about changing it out now. So I'll continue to work on him. If he doesn't do it, excuse me, I'll have to find somebody else. The tax cap, I left you a separate sheet of paper today. If the budget stays as it is this evening, we are $67,403 underneath the tax levy limit. I think that's good information for you to have. And I also, last month, gave you these things on the fiscal stress scores, which I think, I just want to mention a couple things that I found interesting, just because I like numbers and things like that. But our fiscal stress is 0.0, which is as low as you can get it. And I thought that in the environmental score, we're a 3.3. And the only reason we have that is because our population is down by 40 people from 2015 to 2020. But we have 166 households with public assistance. And the median value of owner occupied housing is 239,700. And our, excuse me, median value, did I say income?
That was value of.
Value. In 15 was 239,000 today. In 2020, it's 278,000. So you can see almost a $40,000 swing in 5 years. And our median household income is just over $116,000. That's why we don't get many grants. Last thing is, a week from tonight is our workshop meeting here on short-term rentals. That concludes my,
What was the date?
for the short-term
Yeah.
rentals, to October 24th, a week from today,
Okay.
7:00 here.
Okay.
Supervisor's monthly report is next.
I'd like to acknowledge receipt of supervisor's monthly report for September 2022.
Second there.
Any discussion? So our amount received in the A and B funds is beyond 100%, which is always a good thing, as well as the libraries at 101%. And the other two are getting there, but I'm not too worried about it. We've been keeping our eye on the cash situation at DA. It's been a little tight, but we're okay. And we've got money coming in from the county and different work that the highway department's done that I'm sure will bring DA up to snuff. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the town clerk's monthly report.
Make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the town clerk's monthly report for September 22, showing receipts and disbursements in the amount of $3,822.60.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, our minutes.
I would make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular and special town board meetings held on September 12th and 22nd, or 26th, 2022. As amended, I just had one comment. We had the September 12th, we amended the agenda for the executive session. Says we approved the,
Oh, okay.
so we amended the agenda for the executive session.
That was the 9/12 meeting.
Second.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. Let's see, this is from the meeting on Staples got the best of me. September 12th. In my communications, the last sentence on that page, it says, this is where I'm giving my communications. He also mentioned receiving a call from a resident that purchased a home next door to his property. And I'm not an English major, but it's not my property. It's the person who called me. So I don't know if, you know what I mean?
Reword that, okay.
When I read it, I kind of went, that's not next door to me.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I just didn't want somebody to think that
The caller's property.
that was my
I'll
property.
reword that.
Yeah, if you could, maybe there or something.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an English major.
Sometimes I just get going and
Yeah, just when I read it,
Yeah.
it read differently than what I
What, yeah.
think I said, but there again,
Next to the residence property.
Sure.
see, we do read these. Any other discussion? So, that would be the changes as amended. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to abstract.
Budget transfers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta have an extension. Sorry about that. Budget transfers.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the budgets as outlined in the agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All pretty small amounts, you know,
Mhm.
get this time of year, sometimes we gotta move a little money here and there, but you know, other than that, everything looks pretty good. Favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll get to vouchers, excuse me. You should have a written in red.
Yes. And that's just to make a note on that. The budget that went out, it's different than the budget, or I'm sorry, the agenda that was posted by $71. And that was brought back in line today, so we will approve this amendment with the correct number. So I'd like to make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers numbered 22,665 to 22,747 on general abstract 22-10 in the amount of $292.52.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just wanted to note that the lion's share, 250,000 of that is for Whitney East for the splash park, the construction. So
Thank you. Anything else? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Library abstract?
we can make note of library vouchers number 22-124 to 22-139 on library abstract 22-10 in the amount of $8,735.40.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is the public hearing for the 2023 preliminary budget for the town of Mendon. I'm going to open the public hearing at 7:23 p.m. Is there anyone who would like to speak on the public hearing? Seeing none, do we have anybody online or anything? None. All right, is there anything the board would like to comment? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we'll do a resolution to move the budget from preliminary to final budget.
I make a motion to adopt the Town of Mendon 2023 final budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is the capital improvement plan. This is to schedule a public hearing.
I make a motion to schedule the public hearing on the capital improvement plan for the Town of Mendon on November 14th, 2022. Mendon Community Center, 167 North Main Street, Honeywood Falls. Or as soon thereafter as that hearing continues. 7 p.m. Sorry. About that far.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? You've all received the capital. Yeah. Michelle, of course. That means, don't forget to put the public notice. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is the fire protection contract.
Make a motion to schedule the public hearing on the fire protection contract for the Mendon Fire Protection District Number 1 on November 14th, 2022, Mendon Community Center at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as said hearing is convened.
Second.
Any discussion? Everybody should have a copy of that. If you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know before the public hearing. Because not only do you have the contract, but you have the worksheet, and the worksheet can be confusing if you've never looked at it before, and I've looked at it a lot, and it's still confusing. Any other comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is computer equipment for scrap.
I'd like to make a motion to scrap the following computer equipment: 4 Dell OptiPlex desktops, 1 IBM desktop, 2 keyboards, and a box of miscellaneous wires.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, number 16 is Bonadillo and Company LLP contract for services.
I'll make a motion to contract with Bonadillo and Company for 2023 AUD completion not to exceed $3,000 from account A1310.401. Purchase services.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? So all that information that's in the fiscal stress scores all comes from that AUD document. Is prepared by Kelly and Bonadillo. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, Historic Preservation Committee meeting dates.
I make a motion to schedule all historic preservation meetings on the first Wednesday of the month for the remainder of 2022. All open meetings laws will be adhered to. Meetings are open to the public and duly advertised. Meetings will be held at the boardroom at the Mendon Town Hall at 7 p.m.
Second. Oh, go ahead, Brad.
I'll second that.
Okay, so long story short, with the pandemic and everything, this thing, their meeting night somehow got off the rails. And so it was advertised in our public notice the first of the year that was Thursday. 2 of the members, there were only 4 members on the committee, and 2 of them can't make it on Thursdays. So they've asked, now that they're back to meeting on a semi-regular basis, that their meetings be moved to Wednesday. But I told them the only way I can't move the meetings. This group can move the meetings. So this will take care of that for the rest of 22. I will reach back to them before we do the organizational meeting in January. I am going to assume that it will probably stay the first Wednesday of the month in 2023.
Are they supposed to post their agenda?
They are, and that's
But
what
that has not been.
that has not been the case. And then, so because they haven't really met lately, and that's a relatively new law that you have to post their agenda, has to be posted on the town website 24 hours in advance. That's what I've been communicating, and you've been copied in, Karen, with the chair about this and sending them information, because I want them to understand that it's you need to follow more of a formal format going forward, because all these meetings are open to the public, even though probably very seldomly someone attends, they still need to be done. I think the word I want to use, like, they need to be done professionally. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use because I can't think of another one. Have an agenda, stick to the agenda. And if they want to get together and talk somewhere afterwards about weather, what have you, that's fine, but not at the meeting.
Is Jeff still the chair of that? Jeff?
Yes. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is summer recreation contract for 2023.
To enter into the 2023 summer recreation program with the Honeywell Falls Lima Central School District. The town supervisor is authorized to sign the contract not to exceed $19,000 from account B 7320.4. All campers within the town of Mendon and outside the village of Honeoye Falls will receive a $240 subsidy. Oh, and then there's a whole bunch more.
And I just want to make, I mean, you're welcome to read that.
I don't
if you'd
need
like But I just want to make sure that this is what the board wants.
I need a second.
Second.
Yes. Thank you. Second, thank you. Lisa. So I just want to make sure this is what the board wants. This, you know, this was talked about at the last meeting. It was a little loosely talked about, I guess I'll call it. But that's what's in the contract that other municipalities adhere to. So obviously, we can do anything we want to. We don't have to do what the other municipalities do. But that's what's in the contract that the other ones do. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands. One is for the federal free lunch program, and the other one is for the federal reduced lunch program.
And then we're gonna have separately a scholarship for the summer rec program or no?
This is what I was anticipating was the scholarship. Are you thinking of
Oh,
something different?
okay. All right.
Oh, if you're thinking of something different, we can do
No,
whatever. we
I
want
just
tonight.
wanted to understand that.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is okay with you. This is what the rest of them do as far
that's
as
what they.
the
do.
village, Lima Village, Town of Lima, Village of Honeoye Falls. I'm not sure if West Bloomfield, it's in the contract. I'm not sure if what West Bloomfield does.
But this was not how we did it last
Correct.
Okay.
Every year we've been
Okay.
in this contract, all we paid is the $240 subsidy. The other two things regarding this, the free and reduced lunch program, we have not participated in previously.
year. Okay. Thank you.
And it's up to the school district or the recreation director.
It's really up to it's not really the recreation director, it's Kim Roberts, who's the I can't remember her exact title, but community programs director. Yeah, she actually, I talked to her, she does not have access to the free and reduced lunch program list. That's a very confidential list. So if somebody applies for summer rec and says they're on the list, then they're eligible. Then she can confirm that they're eligible.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get, I mean, the town of Mendon, we don't get involved with
Right.
deciding
Okay.
who's on that list.
Right.
What the, those are federal guidelines.
So, yeah, it's not really a scholarship, we're just subsidizing
Right.
a
Yes.
little more than we subsidize.
In the past.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure that's okay with
Yeah.
everybody.
No, that's
If-
perfect.
If you don't like it, we can do whatever we want.
I think that's along with the intent of what our discussion was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To have it available if there is anybody who so needs it.
Well, and I'd rather stick with what the other municipalities
I
are
would.
doing
Yeah,
than do something
I
different,
would agree.
because that just muddies the water.
Mhm.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Thank you. Next is a letter of credit regarding Mendon Green.
I'll make a motion to accept the engineer's estimates from Bell Engineers for $1,700,399,000.75 for the Mendon Green project from Friedman Homes. Letter of credit in full or partial will be released with town board approval after acceptance by the code enforcement officer, town highway superintendent, and town engineer.
Should it, go ahead.
No, I'll second that.
Should it be Holmes, HOMES?
I think you're right.
No.
I think I was thinking of Sherlock or something.
Oh.
And
You know, I read it and didn't catch it.
That was a
I'm
question.
surprised,
Yeah, maybe.
usually Denise catches all those
and can I go back to
fat finger
the
things.
previous one where it says straight up at the very top right hand corner where it says who's?
Is that improper? What should it be?
WHOIC.
WHOSE.
HOSE.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, English teacher.
Second
You know,
one, too.
I remember when I did that, I go, that doesn't look right.
That would mean who is.
Who is family club? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Let somebody get their grammar down. Good. All right. Homes, yeah. Anyway, do we have a second on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so what the concern is here, and Brent, I don't know if were you in on that conversation?
Yeah, there was.
They wanted
a bit of back
partial-
and forth with Lavella Marathon Engineers, Marathon Engineers, who's the engineer for Reedman Homes. I gave an estimate of what this would cost for them to install. Lavella had the contention was letter of credit is in case if the town has to install it, which we would have, it's different. Would have to go to bid, we have to pay prevailing wage. So they went back and forth to make sure that this cost actually reflected if the town had to install it and go to bid and pay prevailing wage. So it was substantially higher than the original one that was submitted.
And the other point of this is that they wanted to be able to reduce this incrementally when certain aspects of the projects are finished, rather than waiting to the end to get the full release. And by having code enforcement, highway superintendent, and engineer sign off, then the town board releases based on their recommendation. That protects the town.
And I think now I did notice that in here, there's $136,000, plus or minus for construction inspection. And we had that phone call with Mary Fletcher on there about how to release it, because we don't get the money from the letter of credit. Reedman has to send it to us to pay Lavella. So we had talked about that they need to be up to date on the last month's engineering fees before we release any of their letter of credit.
Yes.
So it kind of gives us some fluff to make sure that we're not holding the bill for these.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want the taxpayers to get stuck
No,
for their work.
Have they actually started construction at all?
This is something that they have to have in place to do construction, which construction season is coming to a close very quickly, and they're kind of hot and heavy to get going.
There's something going on.
there's something going
There's
on
something
over
going
there.
on. I just
because
drove by it.
I
Yeah.
do too.
It looks
There's
like a
something going on.
road and lots of pipes for
Yep.
drainage.
They may have put in a temporary road and,
Yeah.
and brought in some materials.
I was surprised with the road. It seemed a lot closer to the property than I thought it was gonna be.
Mhm.
I mean, unless it's just a construction.
They did have their pre-construction meeting with the town of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So to get going on that sanitary sewer section.
Oh,
which is
yeah, it looked like
outside
sanit-
of this.
It looked like sanitary pipe. Yeah, it was not big enough to be.
Correct me if I'm,
Stormwater.
oh, excuse me.
Go ahead, no, go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, but I think anything they do this year is gonna be all underground, moving dirt, that kind of thing. I mean, they're not gonna be building any houses 2020.
No, but what they want to do is get all this rough grade in, the road rough grade in, so they can start. They can start right away with the homes. They would probably love to get the foundation poured on one of them, I'm assuming, to have their model home ready in the spring. So they can start marketing. Because if they don't get going this year on it, they'll be, I would have to assume into late summer or early
Mhm.
fall next year on
Agreed.
marketing. When you do see them break ground, it's gonna look like that. Like somebody stepped on the anthill, they're just gonna be running all over the place.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
I-
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is repair order for Mendon Highway.
Make a motion to approve repair order for $3,870.34 to repair truck number 91 with Allied Spring after receiving 3 quotes.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Back to public comment. Anybody online? No? Okay.
Different than last year.
Is there a little different last year? Wonder what the difference is. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?